Hey, hello everyone, and welcome to this weekly market review. I am Chris. I am the market strategist here at Elliott Wave Cafe. Welcome. Let's take a look at the markets. We'll do as usual, follow with the core S&P, NDX, Dow Jones. We'll take a look at Bitcoin and Ethereum and close off with gold, silver. Let's take a little bit of a look at the dollar as well. So we've had a pretty strong close, I must say, on Friday after a pretty down week for the indices. And actually, ever since Nvidia reported earnings, I think it was last week. The markets have been in a kind of downward correction in here, but even on Friday, right, for the good part of the day, the market was selling off, and then we found bids at about 5,200, and that created a pretty large amount of buying. You can see here on the volume as well. They came very, very strongly and pushed the market, creating this pretty strong and long hammer here on the daily time frame. So based on this, my expectation is that we will continue strong into next week and eventually overtake the highs here when we gapped higher after Nvidia's earnings. So, the picture on the weekly charts is not as pretty. But the fact that we got rejected here at the 10-week moving average at the 50-day, I think that's important. It says a lot. We also closed back above these highs from April, and the expectation now are that this will continue to go to the upside. So decent price action. It's been a couple of choppy weeks here in the indices, but we continue to remain in an uptrend, and we got to give this market the benefit of the doubt that the path of least resistance continue to remain higher as they're approaching lower levels. You can see buyers continue to step in. So that's just a quick view at the S&P 500 in here. We're doing pretty much daily analysis on this on my regular updates here on the Daily Drip, through videos and written comments and charts into our regular daily updates. So let's take a look at the RSP. You can see in here that when you look at this index, which is an equal weighted approach to the S&P 500, it's more of a stronger breadth indicator. This one also reacted pretty well, created this small hammer here on the weekly time frames above, again, the 10-week moving average. It was a pretty good support here a few weeks ago at about 157. And I think once you move above this high, the chances are that we will take 170. It's very important that we don't lose the low of this week that just passed here. If we lose this low, both in in all the indices, even in the S&P 500, that means that this was a failed attempt, and then we will look for further weakness back towards 5,000. So this low here, it's basically the defense zone, the bottom line that would be watching on any trades looking for further upside. The Nasdaq 100, you can see in here, the weekly charts paint such a nice picture at times, where you have some clear levels. You can see where the averages are and kind of how the market reacts, how the trend is established, how you're coming back, retesting certain levels, and you just watch the behavior price wise, and you see what the market is clearly doing in here. Failed attempt at 17K. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of buying in here, a little bit of a pause, and then that kind of got rejected. Now, yeah, we did close about 1.5% lower on the week. We did pull back a little bit higher than halfway this candle. So, if they can maintain without getting a weekly close below this level, below this horizontal line, I think that's an important factor here, and you can see the volume is increasing on these buys. So there's still interest in this market, and I'm studying a lot of stocks every single day. A lot of them I kind of present them into the daily videos, and there's a lot of opportunities out there, a lot of stocks that have good relative strength, outperforming the market, pushing higher. You can see XLK is acting well, the technology sector, XLC. There's a lot of rotation in these sell-offs, and just doesn't seem that the market is prime for any serious correction at the moment. It might come maybe later on this summer, but at the moment, it's a little bit of chop, but nothing serious, really happening in here. So Nasdaq Composite again with even a stronger reaction here from the support line, right? All they did is just kind of came back and look, who's hiding back here? Do we have buyers? So, is this market really serious about continuing to go? And they found them. They found them right here, and is a combination of support and moving average, and the reaction here is very visible. So we'll see how they behave. Usually, the beginning of the month is usually a pretty bullish period. You have money coming in and pensions and all that. So let's see. If there is a continuation, but again, the low of this week for me, it's the line in the sand. Semiconductors continuing to act well. I mean, Nvidia pulled back a little bit on those news about their exports and all that, but nothing really for these stocks to top is going to take a long time to to start to be distributed and to be out of favor. It might not move forward with the same performance it did for now, but it's still in a pretty good uptrend, and semiconductors here are showing you that they're a fine sector of the market, and the money should continue to pour into here, in my view. So there is nothing wrong with the sector. Dow Jones Industrial Average was the one that kind of got hit the most. We had some pretty bad earnings report from the likes of CRM, and then you saw just some healthcare stocks got hit last week as well. So it was kind of dragging. But even here, we found pretty good support back at about 3,800. This whole thing here could be a very simple flat. If you're following Elliott wave and maybe a C wave, and look, you got a pretty decent reaction from 3,800, and this is not pointing to anything too damaging on the bearish side. You got a rising 40-week moving average. Yeah, you're still below the 10-week, but you're basically right there. Could be a bit more consolidation, but I don't see a heavy bearish picture developing here whatsoever at the moment. So maybe a little bit of chop, but other than that, it's good. Good to go. IWM is the one that I'm very interested in. A couple of failures right here below that 204 level, right into the 10-week moving average. It's almost forming a little bit of a pullback in here, maybe like a small second wave. And the moment we break, I talked to the guys in the chat, to the daily videos as well. I want to start initiating long positions above 207, and then start to get really aggressive on them above 210 in IWM, because I think once this level gets cleared out, it's going to attract a lot of buyers, and there's a chance to move up here to 235 pretty quickly. So I know there's a lot of false starts in this small cap arena, but we just watch these levels, and if we need to step back and it's another false start, then we'll just close the position. And yeah, you might get chopped around a couple of times. You got to keep the losses small and know exactly where you're going to get out if the market doesn't behave a certain way. But then once you catch it, then when we press the pedal and start to get aggressive, and I think it won't be long before this starts to really move to the upside. So again, just we're going to start to nibble above 207 and then take it from there. and then if we fall back below 200, then we'll get out. So very simple, nothing ultra complicated here, just watching price. Bitcoin, again, is not really doing anything wrong. After this pretty good hammer a few weeks back, obviously the 70K, it's a massive level here. I think this supply continues to be absorbed by the day, and eventually we will get taken out and we will move higher. You can see in here again that 50-day moving average that holds the sell-off. We're long in here. I'm looking to add to this one as well. I'm just waiting for a little bit of a push higher, and then we'll add to the positions and look for further upside. My line in the sand is like 64K. If we drop below 64K, I don't want to be involved, and then we'll reestablish. I mean, this I'm talking about, more fresh money at the highs, not necessarily positions that were bought lower or for longer term holdings. That's a different story. But I'm just talking here in terms of a more of a swing approach perspective. To take advantage of a break to the upside in Bitcoin. But it is doing well. I mean, you have a pretty strong rising 40 week. You do consolidate in here. I talk about the wave counts as well into the updates. And you've had a corrective period and you kind of came out of it. And, now the market, it's prepping probably for a larger breakout. And if Nasdaq starts to move higher, after this week and the rest of the indices, I think Bitcoin will follow. Ethereum ETF, I think, will start trading soon as well. And there's a bunch of interest here. Really bit of a pause. It's normal after such a strong move. Nothing wrong. You cleared an uptrend, a downtrend corrective move. And I think once you start to clear 4K, we're going to be on our way to 5. So, I would buy dips towards a 10-week moving average in here towards 3,400, and that would be, a level to watch. I mean, you can see, you have 1, 2, 3 weeks in here right at that 32, 33 level, and if you start to break below that, then you got 2,800. Again, it's a matter of how you approach your stops and how much you're willing to give up and what's the purpose of the trade, right? If you're on a weekly time frame, you might not care. Just say, well, my bottom line is like 2,500 or 2,600 because that's the 40 week, and that gives me good protection. Other might say, hey, I'm not going to let it go below 3,200 or below 2,800, and that's fine as well. You just got to know how much you're willing to let it go. 10-year yields not doing a whole lot, actually got rejected from higher prices. I know there was a bit of excitement, from the bears that the yields are pushing higher and, this market will crash or anything like that. But, you see the inflation data came okay, and there's, in my view, there's not a lot of worries there. The US dollar, it hasn't been really doing, I mean, we're almost like, 8 weeks of sideways move, a failed attempt to break 106. We came lower. I think I mentioned this last week, just maybe a simple ABC, and then we're coming lower, but there is no continuation really. So it's in my radar. I watch it every day to see how it behaves. Right now it's pretty not doing a whole lot, anything wrong. If anything, if we start to break below 104 and 103, right, then we start to think about more downside. Above 106, it will be a signal for more defense. Right now it's just really nothing there. But the gold, likes it in here. Last week was a bit tough. This week, a little bit of a bid, but just above the 10-week moving average. I think if you own gold here and you have it, it's it's not telling you to get out or anything like that. It's basically in an uptrend after the break, so the path should continue to remain higher. Shorter term, below 2,300, I would not want to be in there, right? We would wait for if in case it sells off below that level, then leave the position alone, get out, and then reinitiate on a break higher. So it looks good. Right? It's just consolidating kind of sideways, and it break a key level 2,100. I think it's on its way much higher. Same for silver in here. I mean, a couple of rejections from 33, 32. But again, it had a huge run from 26. So, it's just waiting. It's just waiting for this very steep average to catch up. There'll be opportunities on pullbacks towards 29. Again, not bearish whatsoever on this. It looks pretty good, and I think we will continue to do so, and eventually we'll move towards 40. So we're watching it every day, and look how it reacts on a daily basis towards moving averages and support resistance. But I think you clear out this huge inverted head and shoulder here at 26, and once that's out of the way, I think that's a positive, and I would be a buyer on dips on silver. You know, Pending that you see buyers coming in. I mean, that's another important thing that we always watch for, on the daily basis, and see, how some of those levels get cleared out once you get in. Oil, I think it's negative here. Pretty decent rejection from this kind of 81 level. You can see, and we're sitting right at the support. The expectation is that this will break lower. Now, I haven't been trading oil in quite a while here, and I'm not interested in doing so. Overall, it really doesn't do a whole lot, and there's better things out there than getting involved in this little bit of a mess in oil. And then the last one here is volatility index, which tried to push to 15, got rejected. We're back towards 13 here. Again, just pretty healthy for continuation of this upward trend in the markets. Again, thanks for watching. Come and visit us on the Elliott Wave Cafe, take a trial, or see what we're doing. Daily videos and updates and chats, and just opportunities in different stocks. So thanks for watching. I would see everybody next week. Bye bye.